ARESxGOD here, and it's time to do a new type of video. I'm thinking of doing more reaction content, and I saw this perfect opportunity here. Gigak had that thread there asking for anime hot takes. I posted mine also, but then I saw Tectone posting his manifesto on anime and why everything should change, burn, be destroyed here. And I like that type of things. I like how confident he's in his opinions, even if I do disagree with some of them, and I'm gonna be blunt, especially on the first one. But we're gonna take them one at a time, break them down, and go through them. And I'm sure I also have my own hot takes. Maybe I should do a video with my own in the future. And let me know in the comments below your hot takes and if you agree or disagree with Tectone. And there are a lot more hot takes in that Gigak thread, be it quote, retweets, comments and everything in between. But I'll be spending my entire life going through all of that. And Tectone's post was just perfect. 25 of them, and gonna go through each of them individually. Now, here it is. Let's see Gigak's post. I'm looking for your hottest anime takes. Then just give me a simple, this show is mid. I want to know why. I'll be judging the hottest ones live tomorrow. And he already has his videos, streams and everything so on. You probably guys know Gigak, of course. And then let's see the manifesto from the one and only Tectone or Dictone. The first one, I'm just gonna be straight blunt. It's dumb. Like, simply dumb. But let's break it down a bit as to why I think it's dumb. Deku should have been killed far earlier in the show, and the one for all should have been passed to Lemillion due to him being far more complete of a character. Now, I agree with the sentiment in a way that Lemillion is more worthy. He's cooler, he did more compared to Deku sometimes being a bitch. Even the biggest fan can admit that with Deku. But this is why I still think Deku is better, because you have this contrast with Lemillion being the better choice. Not in all cases, because what Deku did, I don't think Lemillion could have done the same things. And also takes away from Lemillion. Like, if you just give him one for all, kind of takes away from his effort, from his hardship, from what he has been putting a use to his own quirk, that being able to no clip through things like cheating stuff, and that gave him a lot of characterization, his personality also, how much he connected with Eri, and I feel like that diminishes Lemillion a bit, just saying, hey, you should have gotten this extra power because the main character sucks. Now, Deku is very problematic. I agree, he's not the best of main characters, but he also has a lot of big qualities that he has. How far he's willing to push himself, giving up so many things for others, how much he suffered not having quirk, how much he fought with everything considering the situation there. And I'm not gonna get into the ending of the show. The ending of the show has been judged too harshly, if I do say so myself, after Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm gonna have a video on Jujutsu Kaisen going through all of that. Make sure you like and subscribe. But overall, I think this one, Lemillion is a great character. I fully disagree that he should have been there instead of Deku. Deku deserves one for all, even though he did lose it in the end. But I kind of like that, the way they ended there, except the romance. But I'm not getting into the ending of My Hero Academia. This one, I just think it's dumb, but I get where he's coming from, because Lemillion is such a cool character. But this is why I don't want Lemillion to get one for all. Feels better for him, what he went through, what he sacrificed. Also, Lemillion is a complete character, but him being the main character kind of just diminishes My Hero Academia in itself. The theme, having somebody with no quirk getting that extraordinary power and having to fight for it, and all of the things that happen in the series. So, number one, I fully disagree. Number two, the anime community's hatred for Black Clover is completely unjustified. If you simply read the manga, all of the animation issues, voice acting inconsistencies are solved, and you are left with one of the most fast-paced, fun, simple, straight to the point shonen that's ever been released. Fully agree with this. Actually, I'm gonna even one-up it even more. The animation, yes, is not the best in the world, and the voice acting at the start was very exaggerated, then it got much better. Black Clover is awesome, simply so fun. You have aura characters, proper pacing, stories, magic, battles, tournament arc, insane female characters. Mereleona, my wife. Asta is such an amazing character, telling you to push yourself, to be better for yourself, no matter what happens. This is great. Black Clover is awesome, and hating on it, you're just being dumb. It's fun at liking it, but people take it way too far. And with the animation issues, I feel like valuing animation to such a high degree is insane to me. Personally, I love Sakuga, insane animation, frames, impact frames, everything in between and more. But I can also enjoy a shit series with shitty animation, I mean not shit series, if the characters, stories, everything else is really good. And that's not to say Black Clover animation is this bad that you should stop watching. It actually gets better and better the more you watch it. And I do want the series to be back. And make sure to check out the movie Black Clover, and it's better than JJK. That's all I'm gonna say. So have fun with Black Clover. This one, awesome, awesome take here. I don't think it should even be a hot take, honestly. Dr. Stone's ending was amazing. I really want to give it the why, but I can't without spoilers. True. But to allude to my point, when everything in the series was solvable with science, it was cool to see the one instance where it couldn't be. Yeah, I like the ending of Dr. Stone, and Dr. Stone kind of has a bit of the same reputation as Black Clover. Is a bit hated and oversimplified. I would love... Dr. Stone would be an awesome series to have in school, to get people into science. If I had this in school when I was a kid, probably wouldn't have done half of the stupid things I done as a kid, and just puts me in such a good mood that I love the enthusiasm that Senku has for science, all of the others, and makes you think, how could we have overcome that with if something like that happened, a cataclysm event, and we didn't have this big brain over here. And sure, it's exaggerated, it's still anime, this is not a documentary as how getting into science one-to-one, like a crash course in school and things like that, but gets you into the environment for that, makes you like science, approaches it in a different way, instead of making it so boring that you fall asleep and you pay no attention. The series is so fun. I love the characters, the world, and I can't wait for everything to be animated. Dr. Stone is really, really fun. I think we're speedrunning a bit, but it's only 3. Let's see. Number 4. If a show takes over 8 episodes to get good, I think it's okay if people say that it's shit. There is no way, I would have ever watched The Two Towers or Lord of the Rings if The Fellowship of the Ring was a bad movie. Asking people to sink over 3 hours into a mediocre viewing experience is just fucking dumb. I agree and disagree. It depends on case by case. Like, let's say if it's a 12 episode series and you need to watch 10 episodes and then the last 2 are good. Yeah, I agree with this one. It's kind of useless. You need to have better pace, better hook to get people into it, instead of just holding the good stuff towards the end. But some series are slower paced, and to get to the good part, you have to put up, for lack of a better term, with the slow things, the build up of things, character interactions, relationship, world building. But then you fucking have to make the payoff worth it. Otherwise, you just wasted people's time, attention, and of course they're gonna say your show is shit. So in the end, it matters on the execution, and if you make it pay off. This is both true and false depending on which series you watch, and the best example is probably Vinland Saga, and I have a feeling we're probably gonna get into Vinland Saga at some point, especially season 2, but this one just depends how you look at things. Number 5. Recommending someone One Piece as their first anime is the product of you being a bad friend. In 1100 episodes of watching One Piece, you get delivered a slightly above par viewing experience. In that same time, you could have watched 20-30 animes in completion. I have a far better understanding of the genre as a whole and have a far greater appreciation for the next shows to come. I actually agree with this. I'm a big One Piece fan. I love the series, one of my all-time favorites, but I would never recommend this one to a first time anime viewer. Somebody that has no idea about anime, never watched or has a bad perception, like anime is only for kids, cartoons are only for kids, or anime is only sexy, hentai, perverted, things like that. No. One Piece is too big to give to somebody new, regardless of how mature or however they are. You don't give the giant fucking expanse of One Piece to a noob. That's insane. It's like, hey, let's get into a competitive game. The first game you're playing is the International World Cup. Let's go. You got this. You got this, guy. No, One Piece is awesome. And also, it has insane pacing issues, the anime. Insane. How they are, especially at the start. It has gotten better towards the end. Even right now they're dragging some things. The animation has improved immensely, especially since Wano Kingdom. This one here with Egg arc is really good, but in no way I would give this one to somebody new into anime. Now later on, after they see some better series to start, like Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, some other things. I even saw those recommendation people saying Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, and so on. Hunter x Hunter could be made an argument, even though it has 100-something episode. I would put it like the third or fourth recommendation for somebody new. Give them like 12, 13 episode series just to get them used to the anime before giving them something so long that requires investments, not just in time, because it's not just about time. You actually have to care about that thing, to be willing to put in the time, regardless if you have the time or not. Everybody has different lives, how they approach things, and so on. But One Piece is dumb to recommend to somebody new, even though One Piece is one of the best series in general, just not for new people. 6. I don't think the author's intention should matter to the community as much as they do, because I believe oftentimes the author of a series can be wrong. This will lead to my next point. I kind of agree with this one. Sometimes the authors can fuck up. Like, they're not this perfect godlike figure that have all of the answers and always make the correct choices. But let's see number 7. The final season of Attack on Titan was garbage. Fully disagree with this. Instantly. And I mean that specifically, the ending was Code Geass ending, but worse. No, you just think it should have been Code Geass. The decisions made didn't make sense from a character standpoint. They actually did. Eren chooses his friends over the world every time, and when it mattered most, they couldn't do the same for him. That's kind of one of the point of the series. Eren saying Mikasa isn't allowed to love anyone after him is something he would never say. He actually would say. He was very possessive. He just didn't show it. Erwin, better than Armin. What a fucking joke of this decision that was. Dear God, they just erased Sasha for fun. No, I fully disagree with this. Like, sure, the ending wasn't fully 100% fleshed out. I would have liked some more lore specific with the powers, like give it a few more chapters or a few more episodes. And by a few, I mean 2 or 3, like giving some more exposition, explaining the beginnings of this power a bit more, but what we got, I actually think the ending really fits the series, and the main theme is just humans fucking suck and war never changes, and regardless of what choice you make, you're still gonna end up in the same place, us as humanity. Just look at our current state and current affairs in the world right now, or through history. No matter how good your intentions are, it doesn't matter. During your generation, or maybe one extra generation, you're gonna have what you want, but after a time, you're still gonna end up in the same fucking place. Conflicts, war, people having lives destroyed for dumb reasons, and even when you have the best of reasons, when you go to war, innocent people are still going to suffer. And Eren has always been this coward, edgy, full of rage kid, but he was never Lelouch, not even close. Imagine you as a normal person. You get that much power, being able to see time, manipulate time, go through back and forth and so on, having that Titan also, and having to solve the world's problem, and also having that decision to save your friends. Which one are you gonna choose? This abstract concept thing of fixing the entirety of the world's problem, and us as humans, we suck so much on long-term planning. It's insane. This is part of why humanity has so many issues, because we always think of the short term instead of the long term and advancing as a species itself instead of our circle here. We are always gonna value family, myself included. Why the fuck should I care what happens 3 generations into the future? And Eren never had the mind or the IQ or the intelligence, exaggerated intelligence of Lelouch, not even close to that. So yes, him choosing his friends, of course, he was going to do that. He was always that type of kid, but his friends not choosing him, they saw how far he was gone, and he also wanted that to happen, because otherwise he could have just killed them instantly if he wanted to go that other route. And we saw the rumbling, how far he was willing to sacrifice everything and anything for him, but also the theme of abusive relationships. Mikasa was able to break that cycle, because how he was treating her or lack of interacting with her, taking her for granted, also mirrors Ymir's relationship with the king, how she was enslaved but still loved him. And that scene in the anime showing her being a bit proud of Mikasa, being able to do what she wasn't willing to do to get rid of the king, helped so many more people, and herself getting out of that relationship. It's so easy from the outside. Yeah, I would have done this, I would have done that, blah blah blah, I'm better, same as Subaru from ReZero. Why doesn't he just solve every problem? He can go back in time. Why doesn't he get out of depression? It's not a flip, a button, a switch you can turn on and off every time, just getting out of depression or doing the right decisions so much. But overall, Attack on Titan ending is really good. It's not perfect, does have some issues, but the core concept, idea, I love that, and it makes sense even more on a rewatch. I have a full video on the ending of Attack on Titan. If anybody wants to check it out, I go more in depth there, why I liked it and how I interpreted that ending. 8. Akame ga Kill's anime viewing experience was decent at best. Just because everybody dies in a show doesn't make it good. Deaths felt random all over the place, and killing just for the sake of killing is so fucking dumb. Fully agree with this. Akame ga Kill annoyed me. I know it went anime original towards the end, as Death is still best wife, but swap Jujutsu Kaisen to this one. And yes, the animation in Jujutsu Kaisen is fucking awesome. Does a lot of the same thing, just killing characters randomly, left and right, wasting them. And I had much higher expectations from Jujutsu Kaisen than I had from Akame ga Kill. And I'm working on that Jujutsu Kaisen video. It's gonna be a long one. But with this one, I agree. Death, just for the sake of death, fucking useless. It's more annoying. You have two extremes. Killing people just for shock value on the left ear, let's say. You can't get related to characters, you can't care about them, kind of remove yourself for that. You have no investment, so why should I care about that guy? They're just gonna get killed off, right? Then you have it on the other side. Nobody dies, there are no stakes. It feels empty a bit. But even that extreme, it's a bit better than just killing characters, because you're not wasting them. At least they have the opportunity of getting some character development. So the balance thing is going somewhere in the middle or leaning a bit more into either side, depending what type of story you want and concept and things like that. But just wasting characters is so annoying. Storytelling is about the characters a lot more than the overall plot. Characters are what make or break anything, and just killing them for the sake of killing them to be edgy, it's dumb. Blue Lock, better than Haikyuu. Gonna be real, I ain't trying to watch a sports anime where the main protagonist is too much of a pussy to keep his eyes open to hit a ball. Grow some fucking nuts, kid. You're a joke. Go Tsagi solos your whole verse. Well, I kinda agree and disagree with this one. Blue Lock has the more aura, the more edgy type of things. Feels like a bit like Jujutsu Kaisen of sports anime. But Haikyuu has much better emotional moment, much better character moments, team moments focused. Blue Lock is more individually focused, like having those aura hype moments of a character doing something epic and cool. Haikyuu has those also, but it's more grounded in a way because it's more relatable and more about the group playing as a team. So I feel like these are very different. Depending what you enjoy more, you're gonna like either one more than the other. I like both, but for very vastly different reasons. Like, I'm not going to Blue Lock to watch highly emotional moments, caring about the character's backstory or everything. I'm going through Blue Lock to watch edgy, insane, over-exaggerated things happening on screen. The series is so fun, same as Haikyuu, but very different reason. Only thing they have in common, they're sports anime. So it depends what you enjoy more here with Blue Lock and Haikyuu. Number 10. Tanjiro from Demon Slayer is actually a great main character. In a world full of darkness, despair, his resolve always allows him to not lose hope and be there for everyone and anyone that needs a helping hand. I agree, Tanjiro is pretty great. He's admirable and earns my respect for not giving up on the face of doom. The show is 100% enhanced from a 6 out of 10 manga to 9 out of 10 anime, and I feel bad for anyone who read the manga instead of enjoying this in the premiere viewing experience. I agree, kind of agree with this one. I would like much more a simple story done right than something that claims to be overcomplicated and this grandiose masterpiece thing executed poorly. Simple stories work for a reason, and that's why they're really good. And when you do it really good, it's even better, taking something simple and refining it. And Tanjiro, great character for those reasons. I actually get very emotional seeing him caring about people so much, being so good, because I'm not that person. Tanjiro is a much better man than me. I would be a much more of an asshole if I was in his position. But that's why Tanjiro is great. You have to be able to empathize and also sympathize with people, like also put yourself into other people's shoes and look at things from their perspective, not just yours. This is why Tanjiro is great. Demon Slayer is really good. I think the Swordsmith Village was the weakest arc. I actually did like the ending. The first arcs were really good also. Mugen Train was fine, especially the last part. The beginning was kind of iffy, a bit boring. Overall, the series is really good. I would give it like an 8 overall with everything into it. So yeah, I do like Demon Slayer. Still had a better ending than Jujutsu Kaisen. Number 11. Saitama is the worst character in One Punch Man. This shit isn't funny, it got old quick, and Garo, Atomic Samurai, and Genos are far more compelling of characters. I understand it's the point of the show for him to be this Giga OP never lose guy, but I think it loses a lot of interest the further you go, knowing that this character truly is the Giga character. Well, yeah, this is very true. This is why I don't like Saitama in power scaling, but let's fully read and go back after that. Okay, the manga also drastically falls off after the Saitama Garo fight, and I wanted to completely drop the manga once the serious fart scene happens. Good lord, get a grip. This is why I don't really take One Punch Man as seriously as other series. It's really fun, but I look at it more like a gag manga, parody, comedy, instead of it being more of a fighting manga or serious manga, because that's what it is, just cool shit for comedy. And Saitama sucks having him in power scaling, because it's like comparing Toon Force characters versus normal character with that Toon Force power. Sure, kind of agree with this one. I still like it for what it is, but this depends how you look at things, perspective, and what you expect from series. Would I take One Punch Man as serious as Hunter x Hunter? Fuck no. Do I laugh as much as Hunter x Hunter as I laugh at One Punch Man? No, not even close. Is the art really great in the manga thanks to Murata? Sure. The anime, whatever happens with season 3, if it ever comes out, it feels like they're talking about it for so long. Am I excited for it? Yeah, sure. But I like different series for different reasons here. 12. The JJK manga is borderline unreadable with how bad the mangaka is at paneling. Not just as paneling, just having a fighting manga, it feels like Scribble sometime, throwing shit at each other. Holy fuck, I can barely throw what's happening. True, especially in a fighting manga. This is why I prefer anime over manga overall as a medium. With how it's structured, there's more time spent explaining how their abilities work, true, than actually using the fucking abilities. Feel bad for anyone who's reading this and not just watching the anime, which is the best way to consume the show. Yeah, I agree with this. Like I said, I'm gonna have my full Jujutsu Kaisen video. I'm very disappointed in the series. I expected much better, bigger things here. Even with all of the animation, is not. I'm talking about story, characters, ending, unresolved things, and so on. JJK is great, but it left me disappointed, regardless of anime or manga. 13. Non-ending are not good ending. Authors should not be praised when they kill off characters or blow up universes for shock value, then say LOL JK. None of this happened, but wasn't it cool? Fuck no, I hate that so much. I hate, this was all a dream. You hallucinating. You lost your memory, now nothing makes sense, and so on. Just removing everything that happened in the background was just a fucking joke. I hate this. It wasn't cool, you're bad at writing and can't make meaningful moments happening without retconning them. Stone Ocean was a garbage season. Stone Ocean, was that with Jolene? That kind of was a... I like the ending because it kind of reset a bit the universe of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures there. It's not the same as, hey, this was all a dream, it doesn't make any sense, that didn't matter. I do think Stone Ocean, JoJo's universe kind of needed a reset in a way. Was it the best way to go about it? I don't know, I haven't read Steel Ball Run, so I can't comment on that. If it's worth it, everybody's praising it, but I do feel like you went as far as possible with that universe, honestly, or like the 5th, 6th generation or whatever of Jonathans and so on in the universe. But I agree with the first part. I hate non-endings, dream endings and bullshit like that. Just, you wasted my time. I shouldn't have gotten into that. Giorno Giovanna and Part 5 JoJo is the best season of the show. Jesus Christ, being the main character descending to Earth to defeat the Italian mafia led to some of the most memorable and intense moments in the entire show. Banana Gun accidental suicide was fucking awesome. Also Metallica's goal. I can agree. Part 5, probably my favorite, but I also like Jotaro quite a lot. And Giorno was great with... yeah. JoJo's Part 5 is one of the best ones. Depends, some things I like in the others, I don't know. It's very hard for me to rate. Hey, I'm even one of the very few that likes Part 1 because it adds some world building, some background to characters, even though it's very simplistic compared to what JoJo became later. Yeah. Holy, JoJo again. Part 7 JoJo is comically overrated, the season about the horseback race. I didn't read that one, so I can't really comment. I'm gonna read what he says here, but haven't gotten into Steel Ball Run. School shit, and then they completely lost the plot, went to 18 different universes, then the author remembered, oh wait, it was supposed to be about a horse... about the horseback race, then said, okay, I guess this is how we'll wrap up that plotline, and I just felt insulted as a viewer because I thought it was fun and different. Then it just went back to be like every other JoJo's seasons, which is fine, I love JoJo's, but it would have been cooler to see how the author would have told the story, sticking to that plot device instead of going back to what he was comfortable with. Yeah, I can get behind the feeling you got disappointed in the series, or this JJK for me. I can't speak on Part 7, I haven't gotten into it, so I don't know if I agree or disagree with him on that one. 16. Vinland Saga Season 2 was incredible. 100% agree. And also Vinland Saga is the greatest anime ever made. One of the greatest. However, it's incomplete. Agreed with that. While Season 2 is slow, it really demonstrates, unlike many anime that have come before and after, the true pain of death and the effects that it has on the mental. Yes, yes, and more yes. Witnessing the protagonist's journey to accepting what he and many others have done, yes, and try to find a way to live with himself was very compelling. I cried my eyes out at Season 2. I have it fully reviewed in episodes back to back, all of them. Season 2 is a masterpiece. It was slow, yes, very worth it. It was dragged on, yes, but as anyone who's had a hard life, who's made horrible decisions, same, that they regret, would understand that it takes time to heal, it takes time to process it, it takes time to change, but if it's worth it, if you don't give up and you find the strength to continue. Yeah, that's why Vinland Saga Season 2 is great, but also Season 1, because Season 2 can't be great without Season 1, and vice versa. Season 2 can't be great without Season 1. Back and forth, they build on each other so fucking well, and it hits so hard, and even goes back to those points. Where was it? Here, the one where he said the slow show. Here, this one. If a show takes over 8 episodes to get good, Vinland Saga Season 2 takes like 12 episodes to actually get to, quote, good parts. but that slow build up is worth it so fucking much to get there. So like I said, it depends on the execution, and that was, I wanted to have that example there. Vinland Saga hits on an emotional level that very few series even achieve that. It's so good, and people that went after season 1, I love Vinland Saga, and then got into season 2, this show sucks. I think you literally mind-fucked yourself and missed the point of the show and everything in between. The show was never meant to be your action-heavy Dragon Ball Z, whatever show you wanna throw at it just for the sake of fighting. This explores human nature a lot better, emotions, guilt, regrets, and getting past those things. It hits so hard. When I was reviewing it, like I said, I was crying my eyes out at some scenes here, and this is what I love. Characters make the story so much, giving time, building up things, giving that payoff. Vinland Saga Season 1 and Season 2, both amazing. I'll put them as a package, not just Season 2. Hunter x Hunter's Chimera Ant arc was a great season, but widely overrated season in comparison to its arcs. I understand the season is about existentialism, and slowly Gon is becoming Killua, and Killua is becoming Gon, but holy fuck, the season waffled, and it waffled hard. I fully disagree. I love Chimera Ant arc. Is it slow? Yes, it has some patience issues. Fully agree with that. Moments that could have taken seconds lasted hours, and other seasons like York, New, and fuck, even Grid Island delivered great moments quicker and more often. The season is good. It was about 40% too long. I wouldn't say 40% too long, but definitely could have used better pacing. And it's not just Gon becoming Killua and Killua becoming Gon. There's definitely that, but also a lot of people I feel missed. I've talked to some people that got into Hunter x Hunter and always said Gon is the weak part of Hunter x Hunter. He sucks, you know, Killua is the cool one, right? Gon is just this goody two-shoe character, which is to that, but he's probably the most fucking insane character in the entire series, and that says so much. If you don't realize how insane Gon is as a character, how many fucked up things he does without even realizing, he lacks that self-awareness, how much he puts himself in danger, how he approaches things, and I feel like Chimera Ant arc was that payoff for all of that build-up in previous arc, even in Grid Island when he fought that bomber guy and exploded his hands, how far he's willing to go for how he views the world. He's unhinged. Gon is so crazy. But also the emotional moments in Chimera Ant arc, Meruem and Komugi, and that commentary of human nature, what it means making that choice. So many great moments there. Hit me quite hard, and this is why I said Vinland Saga is one of the best series. For me, Hunter x Hunter is also there. So I do agree Chimera Ant arc is not perfect, needs better pacing, but this one is definitely a hot take for me. Is too overhated here. 18. This is the age they should make any character in anime look like. Stop with the weird ass pedo shit in every anime. I'm tired of being embarrassed of watching this shit with my homies. Yeah, I agree, especially if there's this character that has the boobs of a porn star, the height like 180 centimeters there. I don't know how much in feet, American units, do yourself calculated. Yeah, how the fuck am I supposed to believe she's 12 or 13? And I would like more adult anime in college or further. I'm tired of the high school thing. I have a lot of series that I enjoy that they are in high school, but this shit needs to stop. We need to do better on this aspect, and also to help a lot with the reputation of anime in general. Again, JoJo. 19. Giorno Giovanna Golden Requiem solos any character in any verse. When he loses, he wins. When he wins, he wins, barring any fourth wall breaking. Not all of them. There are some fucking broken characters that don't care about Golden Requiem. It's insane what's out there. Especially some of the isekai, some of the power fantasy series, some of the manhwa series, like, and this requires him to actually fucking hit somebody, because at the end of the day he's still human, so I don't care about Golden Requiem if somebody blows up the fucking planet and things like that. Like, sure, in some certain circumstances, specific situations and so on, he wins, But even then, there are characters that completely canceled Golden Requiem and they don't care about it. Rimuru, Anos, Voldigod, characters from God of High School and so on. There's so many fucking of them. Put in Saitama here. I fucking hate Saitama and power scaling. People who don't enjoy slice of life anime aren't ADD zoomers. They're just not miserable humans life with shit lives who need to watch people have fun lives when in reality they can just go outside and have fun themselves. Sure, but it's not just that. Honestly, I just don't enjoy slice of life. I find it really fucking boring. I need something to happen, a plot, a reason to watch, a reason to care about those characters. Give me something. Use the characters to do something with them. Characters are very important. But if they just do random shit with no goal, not doing anything, I'm like, why should I care? What's the point of all of this? And it's always those cliches of miscommunication, of we're not talking. Maybe this is not relatable to me and somebody relates to them and they enjoy. Nothing wrong when you're enjoying slice of life anime. But also on the other side, there's nothing wrong with not enjoying it. For me, I don't enjoy slice of life anime and pure romance, both of them. I like romance and slice of life moments in other shows, but when the main purpose is slice of life of romance, I honestly don't care. I don't care how good the show is, I don't care how many people like it, it's just not for me. So, yeah. This is just taste, being taste. 21. Shows that undermine the original premise drive me insane. This is kind of funny, because a lot of people had this issue with Vinland Saga, but that's also on them, but also on the show a bit, because it kind of swapped the tone of the show after season 1, in a way, in a big way, honestly, because it starts out as this revenge story, and then it goes into accepting your life, what you did, and so on. Already talked about that. So, in a way, I can understand this going into something, you know what you're gonna expect, and then randomly does it, and you're wait, what? This was a show about racing car, but right now I'm watching a show about McDonald's. How did wait? Yeah, that sometimes can be really jarring if it's not done well or build up on it. Allow me to explain. Shield Hero is an anime based on the protagonist not being able to do any offense and must fight with defense. Then 8 episodes in, he just gets offense, and then what the fuck was the point of the show? Okay, I think this is on you, Tectone. I agree with this one, but I also think it's on you, because Shield Hero, first of all, is an isekai. They always turn out like this. They're gonna, majority of them, overpowered main characters, especially somebody in a series like that. It was never gonna be this serious. I fully agree. Season 1 is the best one. Season 2 starts out fucking bad, gets a bit better towards the end because of introduction of some characters. Season 3 starts good, then gets much fucking worse because it has that issue with slice of life romance, not doing anything, spinning into circles, repeating same things, doesn't decide what direction he wants to go in. But you kind of went in with wrong expectations from Shield Hero. Is it on the show also? Yes, but it's also on you. I don't know if you watch a lot of isekai, but I'm an isekai enjoyer, so I know when I'm gonna watch a power fantasy show and what to expect from one of those. There are very few exceptions where they're more than just a power fantasy, and this one is still a power fantasy even with the revenge aspect. I do have a video of the best isekai series if you guys want to check that out. Let's see. The same thing with how I reincarnated as a slime. The whole reason I watched these shows was to figure out how the fuck is he gonna overcome this shit as a slime. Well, no, he was just gonna be overpowered as fuck as nation building. Slime is the same one. Slime is much better than Shield Hero, but it's still a power fantasy of somebody nation building. Oh, he's just an OP anime girl now and auto wins. Yeah, but you watch that not to see if he wins. You watch it to see how he wins and what happens in between. I just don't think you enjoy power fantasy overpowered main character, which is fine. Well, then why the fuck is the show still called How I'm a Fucking Slime? Stupid, and I ain't liking that shit one. Yeah, that's fine, I liking it. I agree with that, I like it, but I think this is also on you. Going in with wrong expectations with some shows. Is like, hey, let me go into Vinland Saga and then expect romance like Kaguya-sama, for example. No. When you go into a power fantasy, you're gonna get power fantasy. You also come into my random tangent here. People complaining about Fairy Tail because it has power of friendship, when Fairy Tail is about power of friendship and you're complaining that a show about power of friendship has power of friendship. That's like biting into a banana and then later crying that it's not an apple. Like, okay, sure, it's not an apple, but you bit into the fucking banana. 22. If your nice grammar there, your show name goes over 8 words, you should reconsider the fucking title. I agree. Yama Spider SWAT, that was a really fun show. Another power fantasy is already pushing it at 6 words. See, this sometimes happens because of publishers, editors, or the author itself. Like, I remember with Dan Machi, if I remember correctly, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Is a really long title, but he wanted to name it Familia Myth, which kind of feels much better for the show. Would it had worked better with publishing, marketing, and things like that? I have no idea, but sometimes names are just fucking dumb. Same as in tech. Just look at USB, Intel processor, or anything like that. People have no fucking idea what to name things. Goku claps Saitama. Everybody thinks they're One Punch Man until Goku walks in the fucking door. Saitama can take his infinite scaling. Goku kinda also has infinite scaling. His main purpose is just breaking through your limits. So yeah. And shove it up his ass. Bro couldn't touch Goku in Awakened Ultra Instinct. Goku has accidentally blown up universes. Saitama viewers think it's a big deal when he blows up planets. Saitama's anime would have its name changed to the guy who thought he was One Punch Man until Goku fucked his girl. He showed up for one chapter. I mean, this is why I don't like Saitama. He's a fucking gag character. He's just made to be the guy that wins with one punch. And he just gets stronger, no matter who he's facing. Goku does it the slow way, the hard way, working, training, building for it. Of course, he also has genetics and so on. He's a fucking Saiyan. But Saitama is a gag character. The author is always going to be in control of this one. Same as all other series. But I don't like Saitama in power scaling. He's fucking dumb. His only reason is just to win every time. I would like to have that conversation, Goku versus somebody else, except not Saitama. I hate having him in power scaling. Breaking Bad is just the live-action version of Death Note. Hank and Walter White and Light Yagami and L, and if you've seen both the shows, yeah, kinda agree, except Death Note second half fucking sucks. So Breaking Bad doesn't suck in the second half and the ending. Death Note, I hate N being a thing. After L died, the show went downhill. Fucking sucks. Death Note is still great, don't get me wrong. I love Death Note. It's also a really good series to get people into it. The English dub is also really good. It's one of the exception series that I also like. English dub, or Yu Hakusho, another great series. Bakano, Yu-Gi-Oh series. DBZ also like English dub. But anyway, that's a tangent. But yeah, you know, they're similar, Breaking Bad and Death Note. Let's see. The Genshin Impact anime will be fucking terrible because the source material is fucking terrible. Okay, you know what's fucking terrible? The lore of Genshin is really good. Hey, I play Genshin, if you guys haven't figured out, but I have so many fucking issues with the game. I even have a video on the other channel with quality of life. I always shit on the game, but it also does good things. The problem with Genshin story is not that it sucks. The presentation fucking blows, is atrocious. The lore is very interesting, even really great in some cases, but the way it's presented to the player is moronic. Like having the dialogue be 90% useless, just talking back and forth, not saying anything. I don't care. Is it because of Chinese language? Is different how you express yourself and so on? Fucking don't care. Have a better execution. Tell it better. Look at Wukong. Look at other single player games. If you're gonna compare Genshin to some of the best single player games, then be critical of that aspect. Do more cinematics. Cut down on the dialogue. Present it better. Instead of just dumping 5,000 pages on you and only 3 pages are actually worth it. And don't tell me having the lore spread out through items in the world, reading 5 novels and so on is good, you get answers. No, you don't get answers. It's just to string you along until the next nation. To get some answers and 5,000 more questions. Like, the lore is really interesting. But it's gonna be better when somebody else reads everything, puts everything together, and when it ends, and then presents it to you. Because the presentation through the game blows ass. Big time. It's going to be much more interesting and better and more engaging if they trim down some things, made it more fluid. But back to this one. Can't wait for Paimon to ruin any sense of urgency and danger, but summarizing what's happened like Boots, the fucking monkey in Dora the Explorer. This is true. Like, Paimon and the Traveler would be great if it was a partnership. Like, going back and forth, communicating, banter, talking between them. This happens, but very fucking rarely. Majority of the time, Paimon is just a robot that repeats everything back to you. That's annoying. Treats your players like they're moronic. You did this because people weren't paying attention. Have you ever wondered why people aren't paying attention? Let's go back to what I said at the start. Your execution or presentation of the story sucks. Present it better. Then you can also treat Paimon as an actual character instead of a robot repeating things at you. And make your main character be voiced. If you're gonna have a story about siblings, this is not your self-insertion. The character is already established in the world. He's somebody. Make him voiced in Archon Quest at least. I don't need him voiced in every single event and so on. Voice your main character, have more cutscenes, cut down on the dialogue, then Paimon is gonna be better. Solve the root problem. Don't try to cover it up with something stupid. Because you also introduced another problem with Paimon being hated. Here. Enjoyers of that game are brain dead children that fell in love with a shit game during the pandemic, and we all know it. That's true to an extent. The game has some really fucking good things, but so many bad things. It's insane. I love the game, but I have so many issues with it. I'll be down to talk more about them anytime with anybody here, but this is not about Genshin. I already rant way too much with Genshin. So yeah, we're here at the last one. Pretty decent ones. Some ones I disagree with it. Some I found dumb. Some I would like to have more of a conversation with them. But yeah, Tectone, I like that he's confident in his takes, opinions. I respect that, even if I don't agree always with what he says. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what are your anime hot takes. Which one do you agree from here? Which one do you agree with me? As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. And make sure to check out some of the other videos on the channel. Bye bye.